Welcome back, everybody. Western wear is so in right now, and let's be real, it's always in if you live in Texas. If you're looking to complete maybe your cowboy or cowgirl look with a custom bolo tie, Katie Heiselberg, designer and artisan of Austin Bolo, and sister brand Katie Kismet can help. She's joining us to talk to us more about her build your own bolo experience. Katie, good morning.
Good morning to you, Rosie. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've had you on to talk about Austin Bolo before, but those bolo ties are getting ever more popular. I tell you what. Yeah, so I want to ask how you got into them.
Okay, so a lot of things I do feel esoteric, but when I got into glass in 2018, from the jump, I started making statement rings and bolo ties. And I was drawn to the creative challenge of putting a fresh spin on a traditional accessory. So I grew up in Houston, little city slicker Texan. I do have ranching in my roots from my grandfathers. But I also have a modern aesthetic, an innate modern aesthetic.
Oh, yeah,
and then I married into Scandinavian family. And so all of those things dovetailed, and it seemed like a fun creative challenge, and they've really taken off.
Yeah, you've done some really cool things with it. I want to hear about your Build Your Own Bolo event. So is this a new idea, or has this been going on a while?
I've been doing this for over a year.
Okay.
But it's really gained some traction and taken on a life of its own.
Especially because, once Beyonce does it, you know what I mean?
That's right.
There's really a big influx, I think, of people looking at traditional Western wear right now and seeing how we can, just the way you have kind of naturally gravitated towards modernizing it, doing the exact same thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
I always tell people it's just another necklace. It's just another way of neckwear for men. So it really is sort of an accessory of our time. Also, it's gender inclusive, it's size inclusive.
Oh, that's a really good point.
And it can be styled a variety of ways, which we might get into later. So the Build Your Own Bolo experience is, I let myself go beyond glass. So I do still hand make glass items for the experience. I also curate vintage finds and conchos and natural stone. And I always recommend people they start with their slide and choose their slide first, because it's the hero of the piece.
That's the name of the thing that people see.
Yes,
the slide.
Okay. Some people call it the ornament, but I've found that sometimes that's confusing. They're like, Christmas ornament. So I call it the slide. And then from there, is your slide asking for a darker or a lighter cord? Do you want leather? Do you want a non-leather option? And then from there, also the tips. I offer way more than this. I like to put out a huge variety, a buffet of different kinds of tips. And the tip is a metal element, generally speaking, that goes on the bottom of the cord.
So this is the way the thing stays on, your slide stays on, and I've never once thought about the fact that this could be ornamental as well.
They are actually, and they're largely decorative at this point. There's usually a clasp in the back, and that helps keep the slide wherever you want it. So you get to decide how you want to wear it that day.
Gotcha. Okay. And I'm so glad that you brought up the different types of things that you work with, found pieces here, some natural gems. But I do just want to point out for anybody who hadn't seen your glass work before, I've got one of your glass rings. It's a half moon, and I'm obsessed with it. I wear it all the time. But such fun, bright pieces. And so if people are into Katie Kismet, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
You can see, rings and all sorts of really fun things done with that glassware.
Yes, for sure. Katie Kismet is sort of the modern art, pop art side of me, and then I just created sort of a collection within a collection, which is Austin Bolo, and that's where you can find all my core collection, which is all handcrafted and in glass, and that's what's on the websites.
Super cool stuff. So if you're maybe thinking about doing it for a corporate gathering or for a bachelorette party, would this be the right sort of hangout?
Yes, this is a great hang. It's very low lift. It's very easygoing, if you will.
You don't have to be great at anything in order to do this.
No, and I am so excited to guide you through the process. It's one of my favorite parts of doing these events is answering people's questions and helping them make decisions. And so it's not super time consuming. It gives you a lot of time to hang with your friends. And after you design, I assemble the bolo tie, usually on site with you. And so you get to see your finished product at the end and take it home.
I love that. It's always nice when you do an event that you get to take the thing home that day.
Yes.
Okay, so talk to me about how to style a bolo tie, because I think this is where I get a little bit hung up. I think maybe we just saw a picture of Liam Neeson. I'm not convinced, but he was rocking a bolo tie, and as you said, traditionally a menswear piece. How can we wear it in a modern way for everybody?
Sure. Well, I would say what people normally think of is what you see on these cards here, where it's worn formally in place of a necktie or bow tie all the way up at the top. I never wear a bolo tie that way in my life.
Yours is a much lower set
than
the one that you've got on today.
I've chosen, in regards to my neckline and where my necklaces are layered, I've chosen to have it be sort of the base of that neck stack, if you will. And I always say the lower it goes, the more it just behaves like a pendant.
Okay.
But also in more masculine styling, just a t-shirt and partially down like this is a very cool way of wearing it.
Okay, so when I'm thinking t-shirt, don't wear it traditionally all the way up. Like, yeah.
That's not what I would advise.
A little bit more casual.
Follow your bliss, but
whatever makes you happy, actually. But I did also want to ask about, Father's Day, because here we are talking about, something. I'm sure there are a lot of Texas dads out there who revere the bolo tie. This is, for example, what my boss wore in the 80s and 90s.
That's right. I have a picture of me in the 80s wearing a bolo tie for Go Texan Day, and I wish I could find it. Yes. So if you have someone who collects bolos in your family, or have a father figure in your life who has been a little bolo curious, I always like to say, this is the year. You can, I have my stock updated at austinbolo.com, and tomorrow is the shipping cutoff for free standard shipping to get to you by Father's Day. But then if you're local, which if you're watching this, you might be, I offer local pickup. I'm in Brentwood, and I'll offer that through the 13th of next week. So.
Okay, so you can delay a little, but not much, y'all.
Okay. Stock is limited.
And there's a really good discount code that's happening at the bottom of the screen. We'll have to leave it there. Katie, thank you so much. And guys, the first 25 people to use that code that you saw, Studio512, will get 25% off their order. I love it. So order by June 7th, as you heard, for free standard shipping by Father's Day, or local pickup in the Brentwood neighborhood by June 13th. Go to austinbolo.com right now to start shopping.